Peace and love. This is Astro Geeks TV. I am your host, Karina Dean, bringing you the Jupiter in Scorpio series. And this video is for Cancer. If you are a Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon, this video is going to talk about the story that you have preserved over the tough times. We're going to talk about how this transit of Jupiter and Scorpio is going to help manifest abundance into the life of Cancer. And using the astrology, I am also going to add in the Triple Goddess Tarot deck, because Scorpio is all about the occult. And so I'm adding another level of the occult into these readings for you, beloved Cancer. So let's get to it. Wow. 3, 4, 5. Scorpio represents your 5th house of short-term relationships. This is the house of creativity, the creativity that we manifest from childhood and into the life. It represents our relationship to childhood as well. Well, Cancers, where Scorpio sits is naturally in this area of childhood. So you naturally have very strong, intense feelings towards your childhood. And there have been some lessons in the last few years dealing with some themes when it comes to death, right? The loss of someone that you may have experienced in childhood, right? The death of some portion of your life, right, from childhood. And this also has to do with sex and the themes of sex in childhood. So Cancer, this is a lot about finding your power back and regaining a sense of power from anything of these themes that have made you feel like you are not capable of living your best life due to maybe any sort of traumatic experiences that you have maybe had in childhood. Overall, this is regaining a sense of power to your children as well. So looking and seeming more powerful again to your children, being able to stand up to for yourself when it comes to children, and also standing up for your childhood, standing up for the experiences that you had. So this is a very powerful time. You had been exposed to some degree over the past few years when it comes to some themes that have come up in childhood. And this also could have been on a psychological level, right? Maybe some things that really hit home for you deep in the psyche. And maybe you're not always wanting to deal with those things because this area of the sky is where we find joy. So if it has anything to do with, painful memories of childhood, then you may have wanted to suppress them over the past few years because we're looking for our most joy, right? And maybe there's some also provocative themes about joyful experiences when it comes to your relationship, to your development of sexuality. Maybe there's some provocative themes when it comes to your relationship with death. All of these things are very big themes when it comes to you and your children and your own childhood. Now, this is a time where even through the lessons that you have been experiences with your children, through your childhood, you have been able to preserve your higher sense of self, your more objective point of view, and your higher mind. You may have had some sensitivities with your relationship to religion, to spirituality. But even though you have had some sensitivities, maybe you've been attacked to some degree psychologically or just physically, or, just with words, attacked when it comes to your relationship to your spirituality, you have still been able to preserve a good sense of your spirit. You have been able to hold on to those preachers, those gurus that have helped you throughout your life. So that is your story, is that even though you've dealt with a lot of lessons when it comes to everything that I was talking about with childhood and sexual themes, death themes, psychological themes, through this kind of challenge, you have been able to maintain a high spiritual order in your life and relationship with those who may have been helping to lead you into your higher spiritual self. That is your story. So Jupiter comes back into Scorpio, right? After 12 years, Jupiter is starting a brand new cycle when it comes to your relationship to children. And so this also revives your inner childhood, your own memories of childhood. Also, this Jupiter is helping to revive your relationship to dating. Jupiter is helping you to revive your creative endeavors. How is it that you express yourself? Self-expression. So this might be a year where you are more prone to, wanting to find like the items or the ways, the channels in which you can express yourself in a more authentic, powerful way. So that might be through your clothes. It might be through the things that you're doing, right? Like talents. It could be through the fifth house also has to do with like cinema, so it could be through the things that you enjoy, right? So let's say you have a certain kind of movie genre that you love. Like this might be a way where you might tell people like, yeah, this is my favorite like kind of movie. And even though that seems very simple, for some reason these themes have been suppressed until now that Jupiter is coming to bring these things open. So it's a great year to allow yourself to jump into some old talents, some things that you used to do as a kid. It's a great year for you to heal yourself when it comes to your relationship to sex, especially from childhood. And it's a great year in which you can have a better relationship with your children, and they may naturally see you as very wise and powerful. And it may have taken some time for you to come back to this position of feeling like your children honor you and being that wise and powerful matriarch, whether you're female or male. Cancer is the matriarch of the family, the nurturer, the person that takes care of everyone. And sometimes you may have had some power struggles with your children. This is a time where they may have a more forgiving aura with them over that. This might be a time where they are submissive to your power, in a sense where you don't really have to enforce it, that it will just be given to you because you have maintained that sense of spirit, and they're now seeing you in this very strong spiritual way. They're now seeing that you have been strong all along as well. So it's a really great time, of course, for dating, because this is the house of romance. And so if you are in a long-term relationship, this is a revival to that relationship, right? So this is a time where if you're in a relationship, you may have, well, first of all, the lessons may have been that you've had to let go of some relationships, right? Because Scorpio is life and death, right? And in the means of life and death, right? You may have had some loves who have passed on. You may have had just an overall dryness when it comes to your love life. And now Jupiter is coming back in and bringing you a lot of suitors, whether you're female or male. People are coming through and wanting to share this time with you, right? You also may be more persistent because Scorpio is Mars. So you might actually even be more assertive and aggressive in gaining more lovers, or just, having options in dating. You're very, very sexy when it comes to just attracting, any sort of newcomers, because Scorpio is sex and is alluring energy, and you're embracing this part of you again in the dating scene and in the romance scene. So for long-term relationships, this is a time where you are being revived again to feel more sexy and provocative with your with your sense of romance, and maybe find some fun ways in which to bring that into your relationship. For those who are not in relationship, this will be a time where you can have a lot more dating opportunities, and it should be fun. Allow yourself to not take it too seriously. Of course, you will still take it fairly seriously, um, but it will be a time where you can just enjoy how much you're capable of attracting, and also enjoy what it is that you're capable of doing when it comes to asserting yourself in love and romance. Well, let's go ahead and shuffle the Triple Goddess Tarot deck, and we're going to try to channel what it is that the goddess nature within Cancer wants to bring out of Cancer. And this deck is of course based off of the Rider-Waite, but it uses goddess images, and I actually channel the number of the deck right now, and so we're just gonna see what it is that the Triple Goddess deck can use to add more influence, more enrichment to this reading. And I get number 20, and it's the card of alchemy. And this is the number of the awakening. And in this card, the goddess is awakening. You can see that she is awakening something within herself, right? It's almost coming deep from the root chakra into the sacral chakra, opening up like a flower out of her heart, and out springs these butterflies. So your entire central system, right? That entire system, and the root chakra is our sense of survival. The sacral chakra, right? This is the places of our creativity, our confidence, and then the heart is where we flourish, where we attract everything. The heart is where we attract everything. So this card is bringing you an awakening, right, this year into the system, the entire system, from down to the root into the heart, and reminding you